Okay, Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. And salutation, you Akim out there that pushes word in truth and in sincerity. I ran across a video that America, the U.S. military, is about to reveal their latest creation. And this is called the Dark Eagle. And I'm going to get into the article. Also bring out scriptures. Abaratazayu Akamati be edified. So we're going to get into it. It's called the Dark Eagle. The Dark Eagle is a nickname for the U.S. Army's long-range hypersonic weapon. Acronym LRHW. A hypersonic missile designed to deliver precision strikes against high-value time-sensitive targets at speeds exceeding Mach 5. That's devastating. Now, they've been working on this missile secretly, and now they're about to reveal it. It has been in production, and now they're about to put it into their arsenal. Proving and showing you that we are in the time of World War III. We're in the time where America's going to be destroyed. But we got to understand something. America is the second leading country. Russia is first with nuclear missiles and the warheads. So you don't think America's going to shoot missiles off as well? Of course they are. So let's get back into the article. The Dark Eagle is a nickname for the U.S. Army's long-range hypersonic weapon. A hypersonic missile designed to deliver precision strikes against high-value, time-sensitive targets at speeds exceeding Mach 5. It is the U.S. Army's first operational hypersonic missile system. Because they have to catch up. Because Russia have the Sarmat hypersonic missile. Then you got China with the Dongfeng hypersonic missile, man, nuclear missile. So they had to catch up, and they was doing this secretly. So it says the long-range hypersonic missile. The long-range hypersonic weapon is a ground-launched missile that carries a hypersonic glide body, which glides at hypersonic speeds through the atmosphere. Now we're gonna get into a little of certain things that's gonna prove its features. Key features and capabilities. Speeds. Dark Eagle flies at speeds exceeding Mach 5, over 3,800 miles per hour. That's pretty fast. That's pretty fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into some scriptures, because like I stated earlier, America's going to shoot missiles off too. America's going to be totally destroyed, but it's not before they shoot missiles off. That's why the earth is going to roll to and fro. I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm not going to jump the gun or anything. I'm just going to get these scriptures and bring them out, man. You know? Because this day is coming, man. And it's called the day of the Lord, where the Lord's going to judge the nations for all their wickedness and what they have done to the sons of Israel. They're going to be judged for what they have done to the sons of Israel, man. This is Zephaniah chapter 1. Verse, we're going to go to 14. It says, the great day of the Lord is near, it is near, and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. We that voice, man. We telling you what's going to come. We telling you destruction is coming to America. America's going to be a lake of fire. America's going to be destroyed. Right along with their counterparts, them gutter rats, the Israelis. But the difference is, America's going to be laid dormant in a desert, but Israel's going to be built back up. So it reads, it says, even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly, the mighty men of Esau's military. Wherever they the American counterpart, the Russian counterparts, the Israeli counterparts, Great Britain, France, and Germany, they're all gonna cry bitterly. Why? Because these missiles are gonna be shooting back and forth, man, destroying the infrastructure of Esau's empire. It says that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wickedness. It's like a day of wasteness, and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Let me hold that real quick. And we'll go to the book of Joel real quick. Because that matches up perfectly. This matches up perfectly. It says, Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, which is Zion, which is mean monument, which means represent Israel, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, mentioned in Zephaniah. For it is nigh at hand, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, which mentioned in Zephaniah, man. It says, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. And it's not talking about actual people. It's talking about hypersonic missiles, supersonic missiles, such as the Sarmat, which they call it Satan 1 and Satan 2, the Dongfeng from China, and multiple other missiles are going to be shot from America. But America got its own top military, America's got its own top hypersonic missile called the Dark Eagle, which represents Esau perfectly, because Esau took on that nation, the nation of an eagle, Obadiah, proving that Esau is the so-called white man. So it says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Nuclear destruction, the missiles. It's not talking about people, it's talking about nuclear missiles, hypersonic missiles, supersonic missiles with the multiple warheads, the conventional ICBM nuclear missiles with the multiple warheads. America's going to be destroyed. Israel is going to be destroyed. Certain parts of Great Britain, certain parts of France, certain parts of Russia, certain parts of Germany is going to be destroyed. It is what it is, man. This is prophecy. It says, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, which is the governments. Mountains represents governments. It says, a great people and a strong, there has not been ever the like, neither shall be after more. Neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. That's the when you got a missile being propelled, it's fired from behind it. It says the fire that devoured before them out of nuclear warheads, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Because once these missiles hit, it's going to leave the land desolate, totally destroyed, man. It says, yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, which represent power, because in them nuclear missiles, them hypersonic missiles, them supersonic missiles, is representing up a pure power and fire. It says, and as horsemen, so shall they run, like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire. It says, that devoured the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. It's not talking about people. It's talking about nuclear missiles set in battle array, man. Set in battle array. It's not talking about people. It's talking about nuclear missiles ready to be launched by that assembly of great nations pursuant to Jeremiah 50 and 9 on down to 12, man. That assembly of great nations started with Russia, China, Iran, Ethiopia, Libya, even America's own allies. But before we get into the America's own allies, Pakistan, India. Then you have Great Britain, which is America's allies, France, Germany. They all going to shoot missiles off, man. We got to understand something. America is a great big altar. And all the people that's in it is a sacrifice. Just like the Apostle Tahar, not the Apostle Tahar Slakia, the Apostle Gabar always bring out that stirring part, all the people is the meat for their soup that's being stirred up by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Ultimately, America is a great big altar that the Apostle Tahar always bring out. This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. We're going to start at the top. And this is what it reads. Because we out there when the Highways and the byways started from the Apostle Tahar on down, out there in the Highways and the byways, warning the people. Warning the people of straight destruction. But do they listen? No, they scoff and they scorn. Some listen because they having these terrifying dreams that's letting them know that the end times is coming. Whether they having a dream of the MOTB, whether they having a dream of martial law, whether they having the dream of America being destroyed totally. This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear. We out there in the highways and the byways. You see, the internet was set up mainly by the way of YouTube to push this word. You could put this, you could receive this word and put it, if you don't understand English, you could put it in your proper language and receive the truth, man. If you were Israelite and you was born and raised in Japan and you only speak Japanese, whatever the language is, you could change it and put it into that language, man. But before I get into Isaiah the 34th chapter, I'm going to read a little more. It says, so I'm going to go back to the dark eagle. The dark eagle is a nickname for the U.S. Army's long-range hypersonic weapon, a hypersonic missile designed to deliver precision strikes against high-value, time-sensitive targets at speeds exceeding Mach 5. It is the U.S. Army's first operational hypersonic missile system. The LRHW is a ground-launched missile that carries a hypersonic glide body which glides at hypersonic speeds through the atmosphere. Here's a more detailed look at the Dark Eagle. Key features and capabilities. Speed. Dark Eagle flies at speeds exceeding Mach 5 over 3,800 miles per hour. Pretty strong, pretty quick, pretty fast. The range. The missile has a reported range of 1,725 miles. Strike Russia, strike anywhere in the world, man. Quick. At speeds of 3,800 miles per hour. Launch system. Each Dark Eagle battery consists of 4 launchers, each with 2 missile containers with multiple warheads. So you got to understand something. America's going to be destroyed, but America is going to get to shoot missiles off too as well. They're going to be overwhelmed because of the nuclear capabilities, but they're going to shoot missiles off as well. It's crazy. So it says launch system. Each Dark Eagle battery consists of 4 launchers, each with 2 missile containers. Hypersonic glide body. The missile launches a hypersonic glide body that glides through the atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, 3,800 miles per hour. Operational status. The first Dark Eagle unit is expected to be fielded in 2025. Purpose: the Dark Eagle is designed to disintegrate advisory capabilities, including anti-access area denial systems, communications, and long-range fires. Why Dark Eagle? The Dark Eagle is a deliberate choice that reflects the weapon's characteristics. When you go into the characteristics of an eagle, the eagle uses precision strikes. There's no coincidence that Esau has been described as the eagle, man. And now they got a weapon called a Dark Eagle. Dig that. Let's go back to the scriptures. Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. We out there in the highways and the byways telling you what's coming down the pipe. Telling you that America's going to be destroyed. Israel's going to be destroyed. It's going to be nuclear war. But before that, it's going to be martial law. It's going to be race riots, clash of civilizations. All hell is going to break loose. We telling y'all these things, man. And now you're starting to see it. Look what's going on in L.A. Look what's going on in D.C. Look what's going on in New York City. But the media do not push these things because why? They want to keep you docile. The apostles, you got elders bringing out Hegelian dialectic, pressure from above, pressure from below. They're bringing out how Esau is using this crisis to bring forth his agenda. 2 Corinthians 2:11. We are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. Let's get back to the scripture. Isaiah chapter 34, verse it says, verse 1. Now I'm gonna read the head title. The Lord's wrath upon the nations. Come there, ye nations, to hear. Hear through the internet, and hearken, ye people. The earth, it said, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it, all the nations, man. For the indignation, the righteous anger of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon their armies. And what's that fury? When you go to 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, the first verse, it goes into how the Lord is going to come back and do these nations real vicious, man. He's gonna do these nations real vicious. Like it says, for the indignation, the righteous anger of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. The slain also shall be cast out. When you go to Jeremiah 25, verse 33 on down, the slain of the Lord shall be from one end of the earth to the next. Roughly paraphrasing that scripture. The slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains, the governments, shall be melted with their blood. And all the hosts of heaven, all the armies of the rulership of Esau shall be dissolved. And the heavens, which represent rulership, shall be rolled together as a scroll when them nuclear missiles hit. When them nuclear missiles be shot off from that assembly of great nations. Jeremiah 50:9, once again. As a leaf falleth from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. When you see this right here, when you hear this right here, it's representing nuclear missiles being shot off, man. And them figs that's being fallen from the fig tree are the multiple warheads within them missiles, man. But like I said, America got technology too, and they got missiles too. They're gonna shoot missiles off as well. Man. And it's the point right here. Before I go to 2nd Ezra, for the sword shall be bathed in heaven, the rulership of Esau. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, the Greek word for Esau or Edom, and upon the people of my curse, which is Esau, they've been cursed with leprosy, to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of the lambs and goats, and of the fat of the kidneys of rams, which is a metaphor for the people. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Bosra. The ancient city of Bosra was occupied by Esau. The modern day Bosra is America. And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. You hear that? And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. America's going to become a lake of fire. Don't listen to these half-wit incompetent reprobates that's void of judgment, saying that America is not the lake of fire. America is the lake of fire. Because it's going to be pelted with different type of missiles, man. Hypersonic missiles, supersonic missiles, and with the multiple warheads to destroy this bitch. You understand? Are you comprehending? In order for you to understand and to comprehend, the Lord had to put the Spirit on you to do so. So it reads, it says, for the Lord, back in 2nd Ezra, back in Isaiah 34, verse 6, for the Lord have a sacrifice in Bosra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. When you go back to Jeremiah 25, verse 32 on down, man, 33, it talks about how the Lord, how it's going to be like the same, the Lord will be from one end of the earth to the next, man. How that going to take place? From thermonuclear destruction and concentrated fire from them chariots, when Yahweh Shah cracked them skies, bringing more death and destruction, at the same time delivering his elect. You can't get around it. You can't get around it, man. You can't get around it. So we're going to go to, right now, before I go to another scripture, I'm going to continue reading about the Dark Eagle, hypersonic missile that the U.S. is about to reveal to the world, that they've been working on secretly for 2 years. It says, the name the Dark Eagle is a deliberate choice that reflects the weapon's characteristics. When you go into the characteristics of an eagle, it soars high and it has precision attack mode. Sharp eyes, precision attack mode. Watch an eagle attack its prey from on high. The nation of an eagle, which is America, was mentioned in Obadiah, man. This is crazy, man. But I'm loving it. It says, dark represents the weapon's ability to disintegrate advisory capabilities, highlighting its effectiveness. Eagle, tribute to the master hunter. You see what I'm saying? The master hunter is an eagle that soars high, that has a sharp eye, that attacks its prey precisely. Tribute to the Master Hunter, symbolizing the missile's speed, stealth, and agility. The bald eagle also represents America's independence, strength, and freedom. Ain't no freedom in America. America is not strong. America is weak. Because the Lord has taken America out of its rulership position and raising up Israel. Started with the apostles. It says, development and testing. Development, Lockheed Martin, a weapons manufacturer, a weapons producer, and Dynetics are involved in the development of the Dark Eagle. Testing. The U.S. Army has conducted successful flight tests of the Dark Eagle, including the end-to-end flight test of the common all-up rounds in December 2024. They've been working on this for 2 years. Started with 2023. To prove my point, they've been working on this weapon for 2 years. It says, challenges. The development of the Dark Eagle has faced integration challenges, leading to delays in fielding the first operational unit. So they may have well been testing this missile and operating on this missile longer than 2 years. It says, significance. Advanced weapon system. Dark Eagle represents a significant step forward in U.S. hypersonic weapon technology. Like I stated earlier in this lesson, America is going to shoot missiles off as well. That's why missiles are going to be shot off from the west to the east, from the east to the west. And the earth is going to roll to and fro like a drunken. We're going to get that. This is, before I get the script, I'm going to continue in this lesson. I'm going to continue in this article. Determines. Hypersonic weapons can complicate adversities, decision-making, and strengthen deterrence. Global implications. The deployment of hypersonic weapons like the Dark Eagle has implications for global security and the balance of power. They're trying to get that edge again, but you got the Dongfeng, you got the Satan 2, Sarmat, Satan 2, Satan 1. All kind of high-tech hypersonic weaponry with multiple warheads able to carry nuclear warheads, man. So this is going to be an event that's going, like it says in the scriptures, that has never ever been alike such that for the history of the world, man. And the Lord is giving these devils the technology to do this shit because they wanted to. He going to use the same technology He have given them to destroy them. But the international bankers, started with the Rothschilds, they're going to escape this judgment, only to be the first fruits of slaves. And we're going to get them. We're going to get into that. So we're going to. So I'm going to hold this right here real quick. Matter of fact, let me just It says this video explains the capabilities of the Dark Eagle hypersonic missile. Now, I'm wondering, should I play this video? Because we know how Esau will get down with copyright infringements and everything like that. So, if brothers want to watch this, they could take the link and watch the video. Because I watched it myself. And this is a badass weapon that America have developed. So I'm not going to play it because I know how YouTube get down. So, with that being said, you Akim out there, if you watch this video, you can link onto this and watch the video and see how bad this Dark Eagle hypersonic missile is. It's high tech. It's high tech. So, back to Isaiah chapter 24. Verse, I'm going to start at 19. The earth is utterly broken. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. What's going to break the earth down and clean dissolve it? Not the whole earth, certain parts of the earth. The whole of America, the whole of Israel, certain parts of France, certain parts of Germany, certain parts of Iran, certain parts of North Korea, certain parts of Ethiopia, certain parts of Libya, certain parts of Pakistan, India, to name that assembly of great nations, because the Americans gonna shoot missiles back with precision guidance. It's gonna make the earth clean dissolve. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. Why? Because there's gonna be missiles shot back off from the east to the west. So we're gonna rock the earth, man. This is prophecy. I'm not making it up. These are the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. This is prophecy. It says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it. Shall be heavy upon it. And it shall fall and not rise again, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high. Who the hosts of the high ones that are on high? Starting with the international bankers, starting with the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the usual suspects, the international bankers, the Vanderbilts, the Kennedys. They're all going to be punished. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth, they're little stool pigeons, such as Donald Trump, the chancellors, the prime ministers that they set up to rule their empire in their empire, certain countries. They're dictators. They're all going to be snatched up and tossed first in a concentration camp. Because what's going to happen is, when the elect is beamed up, I'm a part of that number. When the elect is beamed up, after a certain amount of time, New Jerusalem going to come down out of the heavens to take control of the earth, to beat the shit out of these different heathen nations, and to purge out the rebels among our people that's still holding on to Cesare Borgia. This is prophecy. And it reads, it says, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit. Hey, to prove that, go to Ezekiel 39, the 14th chapter. Servant not continuing employment. That word employment means slavery. Dig that. It says, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in a pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. And after many days they shall be visited. And that's proof that this devil is going into slavery, man. After his empire is destroyed. After his empire is destroyed, man. You know? So this is Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 12. It reads, the earth quakeneth, and the foundation thereof. It says, the earth quakeneth, and the foundation thereof. The sea riseth with the waves thereof. Slack, let me read it again. It says, the earth quakeneth, and the foundation thereof. The sea ariseth with the waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled. And the fishes thereof also, before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. Nuclear missiles and them chariots. That's the glory of the Lord, them chariots, man. It says, for strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. Whose right hand? Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah? That's going to guide these missiles, man, to hit their targets. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp. The arrows represent the nuclear missiles. It says, and shall not miss when they shall be shot into the ends of the world. It says, behold, the plagues are sent. The ultimate plague is the nuclear missiles, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till to consume the foundations of the earth, not the whole earth, but certain parts of the earth, like I mentioned. And it says, like as an arrow, which is shot of a mighty archer, the arrow represents the nuclear missiles, the hypersonic missiles. Like as an arrow, which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward, even so the plagues of the Lord started with the nuclear missiles that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. That's your ass, Esau. That's your ass, you goddamn white bastard. You red bastard. You not white, you're red. You're red, you red bastard. So I'm going to get this scripture that I've been quoting throughout this lesson. Jeremiah 25 verse, I'm going to start at 31. A noise shall come upon, a noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. What's that noise? Of nuclear missiles. For the Lord have a controversy with the nations. The Lord have a controversy because all these nations had their hand in afflicting the sons of Israel. All these nations that's upon the earth had their hand in afflicting us and in enslaving us. So the Lord has a controversy with these nations. It says, it says, I'm going to read it again. Isaiah chapter 25 verse 31. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, which the missiles. For the Lord have a controversy with the nations. He will plead, that means judge, when you go into the Hebrew, with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the slaughter. Starting with Esau, Edom. 2/3 of you wicked ass niggas and Hispanics and Native Americans. You're all going to bow down to the slaughter. It says, and you join them to Esau, you're going to fall by the sword. It says, he will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies. Behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation of nuclear missiles, them hypersonic missiles, them supersonic missiles. The chariots of the Lord cracking the skies, bringing death, destruction, and deliverance. And a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And the slain of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh shall be at that day from one end of the earth even to the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. Showing you death and destruction is going to come. These devils are not going to escape the judgment of the Lord. And after 1,000 years of your slavery, guess what's going to happen to you goddamn red bastards, man? Obadiah 1:18. I'm going to read it, but I'm going to show you why this is going to happen to you all. Why they're going to, why America is going to be destroyed, why America is going to be destroyed, and Esau is going into slavery, which you have done, first and foremost, which you have done to Yahweh Shah more than 2,000 years ago, by nailing them to the cross, you know, when you're calling yourselves Romans, but also what you did to the apple of the Most High's eye, the sons of Israel. This is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 10. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In that day thou stoodest on the other side in the day that the strangers, talking about the Babylonians, carried away captive his forces and foreigners into the gates, which were you Edomites, man. Also, the Babylonians. It says, but first the Babylonians, then the Edomites. It says, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them, because you was helping the Babylonians take down Judah. You red bastard, that's what you're going to pay. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brothers. It says, it's like, let me slow down. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of his distress. Thou shouldest not have entered to the gate of my people in the day of their calamity, yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Yeah, because they went into the temple, invaded the temple, burnt the temple down, man. These devils, man, got a lot to pay for. It says, neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossways to cut off those of his that did escape. He was cutting them off, killing them, capturing them, bringing them back to the Babylonians. This is what Esau has done, man. You're going to have to pay. You have a lot. You got a whole history of what you have done to the sons of Israel, because you are butthurt over your birthright, because you has been supplanted. But that was all spiritual, man. Goddamn devils. It says, neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape, neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the days of distress. You can't get away with it. You can't. This is your destruction. This is your judgment. This is Esau's fate. Obadiah 15, 1 verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, all the different nations. They had their hand in inflicting the sons of Israel, mainly Esau. When you go to Psalms, when you go to what is it, Psalms, the 83rd chapter, the first enemy of the Lord and of the sons of Israel is Esau. Then you got Ishmael. Then you got Moab. So all these nations have their hand in afflicting us, man. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, all the nations. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. All the nations are going into slavery under the Israelites, man. It says, thy reward shall return upon thy own head. It says, for as thou have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Drink what? The dregs of the cup, which is slavery. Being under subjection. Getting your ass whipped. Serving the Israelites. It says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. Verse 17, Israel's ultimate triumph. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, started with the elect. And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, which is their land. Esau, started with Esau. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph, representing Ephraim on down to Issachar, shall be a flame. And the house of Esau, representing the so-called white man, shall be stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So that's your ass, Esau. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau. Talking about Judah. We're going to take your land and possess it, because you ain't going to need it. You're going to be in the goddamn fields, man, serving slavery. And they of the plain of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim. Second, and they of the south shall possess Mount Esau, and they of the plains of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the field of the Sabian of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And the captivity of the host of the children of the sons of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zepariah, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Shibihad, shall possess the cities of the south. Plain and simple, man. After 1,000 years of slavery, we're going to do away with you Edomites, man. You're going to be done. And the Lord's going to use your own device against you. The dark eagle. The Psalmat 1 and 2. Which you call Satan 1 and Satan 2. The Dong Fang. The hypersonic missile that Moabite has. Is going to be used against you. The Lord is raising up the sons of Israel and bringing down the kingdom of Esau. So with that, I'm going to close it out. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Bukak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders and the bishops once again. And salutation you Akim out there that pushes more than truth and sincerity. Shalom.